Well, good morning, everybody. It is blooming 10 o'clock in the morning. But it is a new year, which means it is time for our first Blenduary prompt. If you don't know what Blenduary is, I made a whole other video about that. Today's word is ripple. I had recently seen a little video on the internet of a little frog chirping and the vibrations from the sound emanating out into the water. So I thought maybe I would try something like that today. So we're going to go for a little scene with, of course, some water. This is going to be the plane that we're going to use. I'm probably going to replace that with geometry nodes. Maybe some grass or cattails in the background make the frog. So I'm going to do that with a skin modifier. Merge all of these together. Add a skin modifier. And of course, before I forget, I will save the file so that I don't lose it, like I did last time. Subsurf modifier. Shade it smooth here. Mirror modifier. And by the way, if you don't know, this is not tutorials. I'm not really doing tutorials anymore. So this video is just a watch me do Blender. If you get inspiration, that's cool. If you learn something, that's cool. And if you are entertained, that's really the main point of this whole thing. And even if you're not a 3D artist, you can see what it is like for a 3D artist to stumble around trying to figure out what he's doing. Control A, scale this down. And just like that, we have a kind of thrown together little frog, and I'm trying to take as little time as possible on this, so no time for perfectionism. Now I'm going to add a little lily pad underneath him, solidify modifier, and this is not even filled in. And then we'll move this up a little bit, and then we'll have this little guy on top of that. Add some grass in the background, so I suppose I'll just add plain, subdivide it some random amount, delete some of these, scale this up. I will rotate it kind of like this, and I'll move it back here, bring over my geometry nodes, add a new one, distribute points on base, instances on points, that's what we want. Add a curve line, poke this in there. What I should also do is line up my camera. Let's go to our camera view. No, let's not go to our camera view, because I can't see because it's not in an ideal location yet. Pin this in. How close do we have the clipping on our camera? 10 centimeters. Oh, goodness. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. Adjust the grass behind him. That looks kind of good. Alright, so now we get the fun part, which is messing around with the lighting. I believe I already have a sky texture on, and whenever I'm recording like this, I know that my picture kind of freezes because it's a lot for my computer to handle, so if I am somewhat frozen or skipping, I apologize. I'm gonna set my sun behind our scene here. And another reason that I want to have the sun behind here so that everything is kind of silhouetted, so I don't have to worry so much about the materials, because if I have to worry about the skin of the frog, the fine little filaments and the blades of grass, I'm just going to go crazy. But if it's kind of in the shadows, then maybe it won't be such a big deal. I don't know, probably still go crazy. That works pretty good. I think we're basically ready for the materials. Add a material to this grass here. Use the principled. We're going to make it a kind of nice pale yellowish green. That ought to be good, except I forgot our grass is not actually using this material, because of course we need to use a set material node. Select our grass material. I want it to be a little translucent, so let's add a plop of the same color into here. Let's do an add shader, I guess. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it's just too dark. Ah, yes, see, that's what I want. Okay, I don't want it to be that. Now let's add a material to our frog. At least for now, I'll add a noise texture. I'll add a bump. Up.
Go all the way down till you get to the
Plug object in there so there's no stretching. Plug the factor into the height. Oh, you know what would be better? Let's use a Voronoi texture. Change this to smooth F1, and we'll make the smoothness like 0.5. Turn the detail up. Invert. Very lumpy skin. So for the lily pad, generate this in geometry nodes maybe? Circle. Let's do a curve circle, and then let's do fill curve. 0.1 on the radius. I'll still use the solidify modifier. Noise, set position, just to make the shape of the lily pad not perfectly circular. Oh, and let's see what that looks like from the camera. You can't even see the lily pad from that angle. I don't even know why I went to all that trouble. Oh, anyway, well, let me just go to my water and let's just quickly add a reflective material. Bring the roughness all the way down to 0. Whatever color we want the under parts of the water to be, maybe kind of a green like that, make it very dark. We're not actually going to mess with the volumetric murkiness of the water. We're just going to simulate it by having it be a very dark color like that. And now, see, look at how fun that looks. Of course, it's a perfect reflection. We're going to fix that up. Actually, I just have to add a bump map noise texture, add a bump. Plug the factor into the height. Control T will make this controllable by the object texture coordinates, and then we'll make the scale probably like, that's way too, that's lovely. Maybe 2, is it too much? I just noticed the lily pad is kind of hovering above the water a little bit, so I need to fix that. But no, lily pads knew how to hover. Yes, they do now. All right, so let's put that there very nicely. Slightly change the color of the frog. I mean, I don't want to add a lot of detail to him, but I think if I just add some texture to the eye. So in order to do that, I'm going to show you all a trick. As you saw earlier, I used the skin modifier to actually make the frog. All he is a constellation of points you can see in there for one side. There is another file where I made a bunch of speculative biology alien creatures that I made up. I found a way that I can actually get some nice procedural texture stuff going on. In this case, I'm just going to basically do the eyeball, and I'm going to show you how I did that. We need data that we can manipulate in the shader that tells us like the different parts, like the left arm, the right arm, the eye, the mouth, whatever. In order to do that, we need to create vertex group. Let's call it eye. Let's select the tip of the eye, click assign, and then maybe this one, let's give this a weight of 0.5 and assign. So that way, this will create a parameter from everything that is not the eye, and then going out down to the end of the eye, we get a value of 1. We have to make another geometry nodes modifier, store named attribute. We're going to name this eye. We're going to plug, and to tell it that we want it to be that vertex group, we're going to press this little, I don't even know what that icon is. Oh, is it like a gift wrap thing? It's got 2 things. I don't know what it is. But anyway, whatever that button is, we'll click it, find eye, which that's the name of our vertex group. We can go to our shaders and we can add an attribute, view the factor, and then of course we have to type in the name eye. What this will do is give us a parameter that we can control, like where the outside of the eye and then like down toward the pupil. Add a math node and we'll set this to greater than, just so I can kind of preview what this is going to for finer control. I love using mixed shaders for this purpose. Plug that into the threshold. Now I can adjust this, and what I'm doing is I'm adjusting like the size of the eye. Type in like 0.99. That's the smallest it gets, and we want the pupil to be smaller than that. Change something a little bit in edit mode. Go select this, subdivide it, scale it. We'll bring it very close to the end. Alt S on the tip of the eye here, make it very, very small. And now let's see what kind of control that gives us. That's about the smallest that I would want the pupil to be. Why I'm not usually a fan of using color ramps, but I'm going to in this case. And plug this in. This is like the size of the entire eye. Liner again. Lighter green just around the eyes, I suppose, just to highlight them. Right up to the edge of the eye. Make another color ramp. Change it back to constant, and I'm going to use this as a mask for the roughness. Take this color that we made, and I'm going to plug that into the color and make this a value of 0.25, which is what I have the roughness for the rest of the frog set to. And if I plug that color into the roughness, then the rest of his body, a little more not perfectly shiny, but his eyes are very, very shiny. However, that bumpiness that I used to make the skin of the frog bumpy, that is also affecting the eye. So let me use that to kind of mute that part of the bump map. I'll use a multiply by this, so that'll make the eyes not bumpy. Liner? Yeah, that'll give us a little ridge around the eyes. I'm going to use that to add it to the bump map. So, therefore, plug this into add. And now our frog has some cute little eyes with a little eyelid around them, kind of, which is kind of hard to see, but it's there. So now, the fun part, let's add ripples to our water. Just going to replace the plane that I made. Let me add a grid, set position node, object info node, geometry proximity, I think is what we want. Yeah, of course we need to add a set material node to set this to relative. Okay, so now this is giving us the distance from our lily pad. Plug that distance into the offset, mute the X and Y. Okay. Set shade smooth to make this look like a ripple pattern instead of like our frog has just jumped in this extremely stretchy square trampoline, which actually probably would be very fun for the little frog. Multiply this how high I want this to ultimately be, which will probably be like 1 centimeter. But first, we're actually going to multiply it a lot. That way, what we can do, set another math node to, I believe, ping pong. I guess we need to turn our resolution up. Yeah, now we have some ripples. We'll get the ripples moving. Add a scene time node. Let's use an add node. Add 1 every second. Yeah, we have the ripples coming out a minimum and maximum over here. Oh, it's going in the wrong direction. Multiply this, -0.1. Play the animation, then the ripples start coming out there. And then all we have to do is have another one and set this to maximum. There we go. So the water's nice and smooth, and then well, it turns out I'm running into some memory problems, so here's a viewport render. I would love to do more. Have to kind of wrap this up because it's about lunchtime and I still have a lot to do today. But again, today is, I don't know when I'm going to upload this video, but right now it's January 1st. For everyone who doesn't know, we're doing a daily art challenge for Blend. If you can't do every day, that's okay. You can post it anywhere on the internet that you like. Blender Artist, Instagram, just use the hashtag so that we can see what each other has made every day. We're going to be doing this again next year. Other than that, I think there might be a few bloopers, so we can roll that. And maybe the final results before the bloopers. I also added a little volumetric mist. I wasn't able to render an animation, so we get a nice little still image for today. I don't know if I'm ready. I'm the one who kind of arranged the whole doggone thing, so I guess I have to be ready. Turn proportional off. Old Kermit here. We'll call him Kermit. And I don't know what I just did. Pushed another button that I didn't want to push. Oh, I guess I don't need that. Okay, bring this up here. There we go. No, Blender updated the, oh, good grief. So much going on here. Ah, good grief. What is this? Okay, never mind. Never mind. All I need is geometry nodes. That's all I need. That's all I request. Like that. There. Okay, that's pretty good. Boy, how did this get so screwed up? It's always the interface. It's always the interface. I love what they did, but I still have to get used to it, I guess. All right, now, geometry nodes. Okay, where'd everything go? I lost my frog. There's the frog. Missing him. I'm very sad. I'm gonna cry. My frog died. Speaking of which, I better save the file again. Could do another trick to keep all the bases of the grass down, but I'm not gonna do that. If my computer will, like, be not frozen. Ah! Spell translucent. Ugh. Let's go to our little frog and name him, not Frog, Fred. Frog is my good name. I mean, it's a species name. It's not an individual name. Lily. Lily and Fred. Oh, it's 11 o'clock already. Then eventually it'll like do something. My slow computer decides to stop being so slow. Oh, I just didn't click outside of the field. That's what I did. Sorry, Blender, blaming you for something that I did or didn't do. And this is something. Oh, it did that. It did that. Interesting. Well, it looks kind of cool, but that's not what I want. It does look kind of cool, but that's not what I wanted. Oh, that's because it's going, oh, for the love of it. Oh, thirsty. At least that frog has water all the way around him. He can drink whenever he wants to. Maybe 001 was correct. Sounds like a James Bond quote. Maybe 001 was correct. Actually, why am I letting the recording go? I can pause the recording. Just don't remember to play it again. Okay, it is recording, right? Yeah, it's recording. Gotta sneeze. Never mind. And let me just move this plane so that it is in between. I do gotta sneeze. Maybe I don't. I wish my whole factory system would make up its mind. I don't know what I'm doing. Crash, aren't you? Oh, it was recording. Okay, good. Well, I don't know when it started recording, but it started recording. Maybe it got that blooper anyway. Never mind. I'm just gonna do a math node because I understand that better. Boy, I need to clear my throat. Too many Reese's peanut butter cups. Whatever. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I don't know how else to end a video.